Working with Agile, it says right at the very top of the manifesto for Agile software development, individuals and interactions over processes and tools. So how do you work with the people? How do you manage a situation where people might not want to use this framework? In my experience, this is often because people have been burnt. This is where you have situations where it's the second or third failed Agile adoption in a row. There's one client I was working with where you couldn't use the word Scrum or Agile because they were toxic. They'd been misused, and Scrum without the values is a brutal tool of micromanagement, nano-management, and oppression. And so they used the visibility that Scrum gave to beat up on the teams instead of using it to learn about organizational dysfunction. So they used it to reinforce the rigid hierarchical management instead of adopting a more flexible, iterative management style. We have to stand deeply in the space of curiosity. And this is really key. If we're working as a Scrum Master, curiosity is positive intent. As a leader, I need to be curious and care about my people. A leader is not measured by the number of people they lead, but by the number of leaders they inspire. And this is why I find the essence of the change and understanding it is to connect to people and take the time to talk to them. Do they understand why we're trying these different processes? Do they understand the intent of the practices? Are they comfortable with the new accountabilities they're getting? Are the decision boundaries clear? Are they being supported in making decisions? It's not like you turn around and give your 3-year-old a kitchen knife and go on, make yourself some dinner. Like, that's not fair because they don't have the physical skills, the competence to even understand what's going on. So if you end up with a dead kid later on, that's on you. It's the same when we do organizational change, regardless of whether it's Scrum, Agile, or any other sort. We need to think about it compassionately, build an understanding, a rapport with the people who are going to be experiencing the change to create a pull. Remember, Agile is all about pull, not push. So if you can create the desire for them to try something different and then iterate into it, you will end up with sustainable change. If you come in and say, you're all doing this by Tuesday, it might not be so successful. And in my experience, rarely is. So starting off, generating some curiosity, helping people understand the fundamental principles, helping people think about how they can adopt it, and then working with them to deal with their concerns as well as address the impediments. Because if people are skeptical or concerned and they raise an issue and it's swept under the carpet or ignored, you've just reinforced every one of their concerns. So we deal with transition or adoption in the same way that we deal with product. We think about the whole process, the organics of it, focusing on the values, the Scrum values, using the force, focus, openness, respect, courage, and commitment to grow trust, to have transparency and the ability to inspect and adapt, to deal with the challenges that emerge compassionately, so that we're compassionate with our people and ruthless on our value. And if we demonstrate that we care for our people and that we're helping them discover a new way of work, they'll come on board. So be curious, understand, take time, because if you don't care, why should they?